Hey guys, today we're in the kitchen. We're going to be making a pot roast. We're going to be doing it in the Instant Pot. First time I've tried it with this. Takes just about an hour to cook it. And so we're going to put all our ingredients together and see what we can come up with. We're going to be using some red potatoes, which they ought to be really good. So follow along. We're cooking in the kitchen. Okay guys, today we're going to be doing a pot roast. This is a 2.87 pound pot roast. We're going to be doing it in the Instant Pot and see what come out. It should be good. Alright, here's all our ingredients that we're going to have into our pot roast, minus the potatoes. I haven't got those out yet here, but we've got the almost 3 pounds. This is a actually it's a rump roast. We got a whole onion cut up. We got some pepper. This is a beef bouillon base. Some mushrooms, garlic, salt, Worcestershire sauce, and we'll have a little bit of olive oil to saute the roast in. Alright guys, what we're going to do here is we're going to make a rub for it. We're going to start out with some oregano. We're just no major, about a teaspoon of oregano. We got some basil leaves. I'll put about a teaspoon of basil leaves. Some garlic powder. Again, we're gonna put about a teaspoon of everything in here. We'll put about a teaspoon of garlic powder in there. A little bit of smoked paprika. A little of that. I'm going to put a couple dashes of cayenne pepper. And this is complete seasonings. This is a really good seasoning. We're going to just add a little bit of that. And we're going to give this a mix. And basically this will be our rub. And we're going to put that all over the pot roast before we put it into the Instant Pot. Right, first thing we're going to do is put our rub on it. We've mixed all our ingredients up here, and so we're going to rub that on all sides of the roast. Rub it in nicely there. I'm also going to add a little bit of salt to each side of it. We're going to flip this over now. Put some rub on the other side. Just kind of rub it. I'm going to try to get it over the most part of the roast. Get the rub rubbed in there. The rub rubbed in, how's that? We'll, but I'm going to put it on both ends. Put it all in there. Add a little bit of salt to it here. Get it all set, and it'll be ready to saute at this point. Okay, we got our saute mode on, and the beep shows it's on, and so we're going to coat the bottom of it here with some olive oil, and we're going to go ahead and let that heat up. And if you let it set until it'll stay on when it gets hot enough. So we're just going to let this go until it says on, and then get ready to saute our roast. Alright guys, the saute mode came up to hot. So what we're going to do is we're going to saute all 4 sides. Actually, I'm going to pick this up with my hands. Pretty good size. Put it down into the Instant Pot. Put any excess seasonings, put it back on top of it. I'm also going to add some Worcestershire sauce. Just sprinkle over the top of it. It'll make it splatter a little bit because of the moisture And but what we're gonna do is all 4 sides. We're gonna saute it for about 2 to 3 minutes each there to get all sides sauteed up nicely. Now, if you notice, we're going to do all sides. I'm going to lay it on its side right here. I'm going to add a little more of the Worcestershire sauce to drizzle down over it. But I'm going to lay it on its side. So we're going to do all sides, saute all sides. That way every side gets a nice brown coating on it there. So this is the side 2. You see some of that fat there that I was able to saute that down. I might do that one just a little bit more on that side so that you get a nice brown. That fat equals flavor. Sometimes people will trim that off, but if you want later you can trim it off after it's done, but fat equals flavor, so we're leaving that on there. Okay guys, you can see it's got a nice saute. We sauteed all sides of this down, and what we're going to do next is we're going to remove this. Just put it on a plate for right now. We're going to add about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to scrape a lot of the kind of deglaze the pot. Scrape a lot of the goodies off of there. Just butter melted down just a little bit. And at this point what we're going to do is we're going to add our onions. So we're going to put our onions down in there. We're going to get a little bit of moisture from them. But what we're going to do is continue to, as we saute our onions down, we're going to scrape this pan down really good and just kind of let these onions saute up real nicely in the. And we'll continue to cook these onions down. And I'm scraping the pot here, trying to deglaze the pot as best I could. I'm using it's like a Teflon, I believe this is a Rachel Ray spoon. I like to use metal spoons because you can get things loosened up a lot better. But you tend to scratch too, so I try to avoid it when I can. What I'm going to do here is we're going to add a little bit of beef bouillon here. This will help deglaze that pot and continue to cook down the onions at the same time. Alright, you can see the onions, the pot is starting to really deglaze nicely now, and the onions have cooked down. So as we cook this down, what we want to do here, we're going to finish adding our whole can of beef broth and let it warm itself back up and kind of come to a boil again. Alright, the broth and the onions are starting to boil up real nicely here. I want to make enough liquid here that we have plenty for the potatoes. So what I've done here, I've made up this, this is called beef base here. I've made about 2 cups of it. You add, I believe it's like 2 level teaspoons makes a cup, and so I made a cup. It's probably a little more than I need, but we're going to add maybe just about half of it. Give this a good stir so that we have plenty of broth there. So we add just about half of it. We'll reserve the rest of it for later on. If we feel we need some more in there, we'll add it later on. At this point, I'm going to add some garlic. I haven't put the garlic in. I use this minced garlic, so we're going to add a couple liberal. You never put too much garlic on, so we're adding a liberal amount of garlic into it. Give that a mix up. Now at this point, what we're going to do is we have this trivet. Mainly the trivet is going to be used so that when you pull your beef out, you are able to get it up out of here in one piece, just to make it easier. So we're going to slip the beef back in here. Some goodies that have dripped on the, and we're going to pour that over top of it. Now we're going to add, we have some mushrooms here. So we're going to add a can of these mushrooms right over top of it. At this point we're ready to button it all up. We're going to put the lid back on. We'll hit the cancel button right now. Hit the, now we're going to do our potatoes. Give them about 20 minutes. We're going to make sure this is closed down tight for your steam, so it goes into steam mode. So we're going to do it for a total of 1 hour that cook the whole roast. So I'm going to set it up for steam, and I'm going to set it here for the high pressure, and we're going to steam it for 40 minutes, because at 40 minutes we'll stop it and take it out and put our potatoes in. Because if we put our potatoes in too right now until we get done, it's going to be mush. So this is what we're going to do. So we got it set up here. Now we just got to wait for 40 minutes. Alright, we set it on to steam at 40 minutes. We have it on high pressure, and we're going to let it go now for 40 minutes. After that we'll stop it, let it steam come down for about 10 minutes, open it up, put our potatoes in it, and then put it for another 20 minutes. Alright, we've cooked another 20 minutes, and we're going to let it set here for about 10 minutes to depressurize itself. We'll open it up, and then we can make up our gravy inside of it. Okay guys, I don't know if you know, after it gets done through its cooking cycle, right now it just said 10 minutes. It has gotten done cooking for 10 minutes. So what this will do, I'm going to let it depressurize. So just letting it go 10 minutes. Now I'm going to open up the pressure. Alright, the steamer has popped, so we're going to take the lid off now. Oh, it looks really good. Potatoes are done. They're really done. Set the lid up here. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the meat out of here, and then we're going to add some cornstarch and water to make up a little gravy. We're just going to lay it on this cutting board and let it rest for a while. 4 tablespoons of cornstarch with 4 tablespoons of water. And so we're going to add this to our mixture and stir it up and let it thicken up a little bit. So we're going to just let that cook a little bit, let it thicken up, but we're going to go ahead and cut up our beef right now and have it ready, and we're going to add that back to the pot. Cut our beef up here. It's just really just kind of falling it apart. We're cutting this against the grain. See, it's really done. So we're going to cut the whole thing up and then add it back into our pot here. Alright, we're going to add our beef right back here to the potatoes and the onions and mushroom mixture. Pretty good. Beef is nice and tender. Alright, there you go, all done. Tell you what, those potatoes really cooked down. You could have probably even cooked them less. I did it for 20 minutes. I'm thinking you could even go 10 or 15 minutes, because they, as you can see, they really just cooked down to just almost mush. But let's give this a taste here. Pretty hot, so. Okay guys, man, they're very good. Flavor's right there. Beef's nice and tender. Potatoes are done. The onions and everything, all flavors melded together. So give this one a try. It's really, really good. Hey, there you go. We got our pot roast with red potatoes, all done in an Instant Pot. Came out really good. It cooked in total for about an hour, but by the time you get over, it takes a little longer than that to put the recipe together, but pretty fast. This was a little bit frozen when I put it in. The outside was thawed, but the center is still frozen. So, but it was always nice and done in the center. So I hope you enjoyed our making of pot roast and potatoes in the Instant Pot. If you did, hey, give us a thumbs up, and if you have any comments, questions, leave it in the comments section below. And again, if you're not a subscriber, I invite you to subscribe to our page. We have all kinds of things besides cooking videos. We have parks and just you name it. We have chats twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays. So I invite you to join us. So we'll see you guys next time. Happy eating. Hi, I just want to let you guys know we do have stickers available now. If you look in the description area below, you'll see a link where it links there to my PayPal site, and you can order. They're $5 each. So if you'd like some stickers, just click on the link down below.